Hello, and welcome to the Drawing Animal Podcast with Wesley Bear. I'm your host, Wesley Bear, and on today's episode, we will be talking about the least weasel, the smallest carnivore on the planet, yet as ferocious as any polar bear, grizzly bear, lion, or tiger. This animal is only about 8 ounces in weight and about 8 inches in length, basically a brownish red fur on the top and a white belly under fur underneath and some pink little paws. And that's about it in terms of color, except for something we'll get to in a moment. The least weasel can be found anywhere from uh, Alaska to Nova Scotia in Canada, and throughout actually quite a bit of the Midwest here in the US. On the other side of the world, the least weasel can be found all the way from the Isle of Great Britain to the shores of Moscow in Russia to all the way the other coast of Siberia. So, a northerly species of animal that can basically be found on every type of environment that is included in that area, from open grassland to coniferous forests and deciduous forests to taiga, where there's very little trees or plants of any kind, to even tropical rainforests like in the parts of Seattle, Washington. So definitely an animal adapted to all those environments and is also an excellent swimmer and climber, and is able to forge trails through the dense foliage to find ways to pick up the scent of nearby food or to create a trail towards a burrow, which is usually underneath a hollowed out hole underneath a tree. The least weasel is also known for, like many northern species, its ability to change its fur color. And this happens almost automatically as the sun changes with the seasons. A flip is switched in the least weasel's brain and it replaces all that wonderful reddish fur with pure white fur. And so it's a pure white animal by the time it hits midwinter. And then as summer comes around again, it will revert to that reddish, beautiful fur that's able to camouflage in the dirt. So it's basically a camouflage technique. As these animals do not hibernate, they are able to easily hunt anything, whether it be in snow, rain, or beautiful summer. So their prey includes anything from birds' eggs to birds to insects to reptiles to frogs to fish. But most notably, they eat hamsters, voles, mice, rats, and even rabbits. Now, especially some of these small rodent-like creatures, and of course the lagomorphs, the hares and the rabbits, can get quite a bit big. In fact, some of these animals are about 5 to 6 times larger than the least weasel itself. Well, how is it possible for an animal that size to kill and hunt down such big prey? Well, the possibility all lies in its hunting techniques, first of all, which rely mostly on its excellent senses, which include both hearing and vision, but mostly it uses its nose to track down any scent of any animal that is left along its trail path that it's forged through the underbrush, and then it will usually lie in wait underneath undergrowth or along the tall grass and wait there as the prey gets as close as possible. Then it will pounce, and then once it finds its mark, thanks to its 34 teeth, it will basically hang on for dear life until the animal basically passes out. There are also some key things in this in which it usually attacks either the jugular vein, which is the major vein in the, or jugular artery, or is it vein? I'm trying to remember. In the neck, where blood is most likely to ooze out, basically, and cause a lot of blood loss, or it will grab hold of the victim's windpipe and basically suffocate it to death, and basically it just holds them there until the animal bleeds out or suffocates to death. So very pleasant way to go, but that's how Least Weasel basically just is able to take down such large prey, and it's pretty remarkable when you think about it. Much like a lot of carnivores, this is all over, hopefully, within seconds to minutes, but it really just shows how ferocious this animal can be. And it goes also to the fact that the Least Weasel must hunt regularly, day and sometimes even at night. Mostly during the day, they are a more diurnal carnivore than some, but it will hunt whenever necessary in order to find food. Males can even have a territory of about 40 acres, and again, in order to continue to be on the move, to have those little heartbeats continue to race, they must eat at least around half of their body weight about every day or so. So imagine that, eating half of your weight when you're only about 8 ounces. It's pretty remarkable, and that's why it becomes key for them to take down such large prey at a time, because that provides a meal that can last at least hopefully a couple days, rather than constantly having to uh, have that supply of energy drained quickly and having to hunt again and again. Um, they will protect their territories if necessary, but territories can overlap. They will protect territories through barks, hisses, and squeals. Um, Basically, weasels only really get together, both male and female, at mating time. Uh, After a couple weeks, the female will give birth to 2 to 4 to about 6 kits, and they will stay with mom for about 5 weeks. They are born helpless, but they quickly grow, but they do not reach sexual maturity until about 3 to 8 months. So pretty amazing little creatures that basically are always on the edge, and just like a lot of small creatures, can their lives can disappear in seconds, so they must live out whatever life they can in quick succession. And for this guy, it means just hunt, 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 and hunting things that even may pose as a risk, but it's worth it in the end, especially if you get a big meal, way bigger than you. So there you are. There is the Least Weasel. If you would like to learn more, you can check out my books, the Crazy Creatures series on Amazon. The link is also on my YouTube channel. Check out the rest of my YouTube channel and the rest of the Drawing Animal podcast to learn more. Thank you all for listening. Enjoy nature, enjoy drawing, enjoy God's creation, and have a wonderful day.